This boy was hungry. Someone get him a double stack order. Don't skimp on the fries. Sheesh. Nah, dude, what have you got left? That's crazy. Nobody wants to touch them. They are basically plutonium, uranium, exploder armor. They feel like a meme. They rarely ever get drafted, but if there was one player that you could guarantee was going to try to slip something through, it was this guy. 3D Clans B, in the red, has pulled out House of Lancaster on LAN for the first time in this tournament. And he goes up against Wham's Golden Horde. Yellow on Golden Horde here. Golden Horde has been a bit of a struggle for certain civs, but I am intrigued to see if Lancaster can solve it. There's a lot of feudal pressure civs that just kind of struggle to deal with the bulkiness and the extra armor that Golden Horde gets. But Lancaster, with their lords, in theory, can get tanky enough to overwhelm even GH. And we are going to be getting Dark Age beginning. Makes a lot of sense. House of Lancaster, with the increased food gathering, just want to try and bum rush you on the Fort Uvu because Golden Horde hates Dark Age rushes. Anyone want to actually gamble? No, apparently, like, Age of Empires community hates gambling, remember? You guys remember the drama, like, last year when some AoE2 guys took Gamba? And was like, oh my god! Burn it all down. I wonder if AoE4 would react the same way now that I think about it. We probably... So the thing is, I don't think you have to worry. Because unless someone really desires to try and Gamba AoE4... The way that most gambling sites work is they use like a median vendor, which sorts rates and odds for different games. And most are reluctant to propose a new game gets added because when they do that, everyone else is going to get access to the infrastructure for that anyway. So it's almost like you have a great idea of a new market and then you invite everyone else in. Why am I talking about Gamba? Because guess what? Most esports scenes are basically thrusted up and held up by gambling, sadly. It's like the #1 resource for sponsorships in esports. Still to this day. Depressingly. Anyway, tier up coming in. Khan and Tortugud on the way. B's not going to be too far behind for his investment. I guess Wham's going to let the Uber go down. I mean, he can pull a worker still. It's not like B is hugging that tight, actually. Being this loose compared to being a bit closer. Like, he could get closer to stop a repair. It's almost like he wants him to try for it. He's just over here like, wait. But Wham's not going to fall for it. So sacks the Uvu. Gets a decent amount of stone out of it, though. Abbey of King's now on the way, and Wham barely going to be faster on an age up. I wonder if he'll try to build the mana faster. It's been kind of weird watching Lancaster recently. We actually had a game in another tournament where Lancaster spent 23 minutes, I think it was, without a mana. By the time they finally built a mana, they basically won the game. I believe that was Anatan, if I remember correctly, in the EWC event. And that's cool. I like that from Wham, actually. He pulled a sheep over. He done like a little Marlene strat there. Only one sheep, though, so if he wants to hang around here to be able to repair, he's going to need to pull a secondary. And there's the stone gathering. So it is going to be a mana drop early, I think. Speaking to the tree line. Nicely played. Can't hang around. See you later, guys. Did you guys gamble in the end? Nah, I don't think you even got set up. All right, well, whatevs. Cammy's like, fine, I'm done with this crap. You guys didn't appreciate the predictions anyway. So Fiddle achieved. What's the opening going to be? Usually when Lancaster is seen, it's always been Spears into Hobbler. I think you'll get that here too. Like, why would you build Yeoman against Archer Tortugud? Oh, unless he tries... Oh. Unless he tries that. He went for a Rax. He did cancel just in time. Minus 150 there would have been brutal. 9-hour KP stream, unheard of? Not really. Need to get back to my Dota 2 casting days of 10-hour broadcast days, Lamau. Yeah, he's going for manas now. Extra stone coming in. He does scout the Rax archery, so maybe we see Spear Yo and a defensive play instead. That would be different. Wait, no, this is 2 TC. TC buff coming in clutch. That's actually pretty cool. We haven't seen too many 2TC plays. At least not a rush at the start of Feudal. This might be the first one where it's been rushed start of Feudal, maybe second max. It hasn't been making much of an appearance so far at Homestead Cup. Remember, they did recently buff it, so it costs less stone now. It used to be 350, now it's 300 stone. And it's going to be TC on the gold, so likely a fast castle build. Cool thing about doing 2TC strats for Lancaster fast castle is just building the TC gives you a rebate in the form of food. You have to gather it, but it spawns 4 sheep at the TC. The TC costs 700 resources, I think it is now. And you get 800 food to harvest from. It's not a bad trade. And what is up, Camion? Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate the sub. So, Wham. If B just builds spears, he can just defend a dive, no? With double TC this hugged, your archers get targeted down if you dive as Wham, right? Unless you got like 20 plus archers. He could go for a ram timing. And there's the mana plop too. Makes sense. Remember, the way that manas now work, it's not a fixed allotment of resources. It's low cap. I think it's like, remember, 30 food, 10 wood or something. And then, per villager range, you get extra resources. And practically his whole economy is in range at this stage. Dive in. Short bow reaction. Nicely done there. Gets through the scout. Shrinks the Khan's health. Lords arriving to deal with archers. Nicely played. And the Lords are just as tanky as Torgud, right? So breaking through them, not easy. Dive in. Villagers able to easily get in safely. And although they're injured, if he just pulls them now onto the sheep, they'll be in range to Abbey of Kings, so he'll heal up. And Phyllis Burr is full of crap. I was not a big supporter of infinite base runners. Goddamn farm. This is some freaking Trumpism supporter fake news crap coming in. 2 villager kills. Hold on. This is a bit awkward now. Where are the units for B? Idle Time's kind of been a kick to the teeth. He's trying to pivot into Yeoman. Still an expensive start here. -3 workers for all that effort to get the town center up. Ain't great. Nicely played with the Karash. They're not showing the UI because welcome to the UI, but the Karash are valuable here. You need them for this type of dive, especially against English TCs. Okay, so B is just going for a raw archer defense. In fairness, not the worst idea. Torgud aren't high DPS, so you don't really need many spearmen to hold them back. And Yeoman will be able to whittle away at them. And the thing about Torgud that can make range defenses really annoying is you're never going to heal them. Not until you get Castle and get the healing tech. So you just kind of get ran out of HP gradually. Still, kind of an awkward map for 2TC, right? Like, I think Borderland hasn't historically been the most popular map for 2 town centers because you just kind of lack a lot of safe food to lean into. Remember, the design on this map, and it got even more aggressive for this, was split food north-south all over. Like manners on account of being an aristocrat. Dude, I'm like... My dad is a builder, my mom was a bartender. An aristocrat? Alright, let me just get my fancy hat on. Where did I put my top hat? I think that's the first time I've ever been called an aristocrat. Yeah, dude, I've got so much money. Like, I literally own Philisberto's parents. He just doesn't know it. They work in one of my coal mines. Capitalism, baby. Nah, guys, you know how you can tell I'm not rich? Because if you're rich and on like Twitch, you just buy 3,000 bot views, and then then like your dad owns a media station, and then you buy another 10,000 bot views, and then you get like maybe 2,000 actual real views, and then you're a big streamer. Mommy, daddy, write the checks. Dive in. Torgud count a little bit of spook. He's got like no spears. Farms already. I mean, you just see how kind of uncomfortable this is. B's goal is just to survive long enough to win. I wonder if Wham takes advantage of that to try and tech. Not a joke about people's parents. Yeah, not around here. Careful. Rich in character counts. Yeah, totally. My D&D character having like diamond encrusted armor and everything, like that's gonna do wonders for my mortgage payments. Imagine like you just like look at the history of esports. Like the richest guy ever in Dota 2 now lives in a cardboard box on the streets. Like richest carry like had 500,000 net worth, lives in a cardboard box now. GG. What's going on with the Lords? I haven't seen him scaling them. I don't know if they've just been getting sniped non-stop. This is kind of weird. I guess like for B, it's not about the Lords. It's just about outposts, right? Outpost TCs, just safe places to be. I like these creating choke points to just try and stop the dive being as easy. Yeoman count is looking pretty sick though. Like it looks stupid in some ways that this works, right? This has basically just been B getting punched in the face for like 8 minutes. But it is working. His yeoman count isn't shrinking, it's inflating. He has lead over archers over Wham, which means archers can't really participate. And now he goes back for the spears. Because remember what we said, you don't need a lot of spearmen to hold Tortugid back. Your goal is simply to keep them in place, and then all the TC fire kills them. It's pretty freaking creative. Toxic as hell if you hate defensive AoE foreplay, but really creative. Nice reaction there. Just gonna keep emphasizing this. These health bars will not go up. They'll keep going down. Nice pin. I think Wham needs to tech. I don't see the value he gets out of continuous feudal now. Oh, he's gonna try to clown car it. Okay. Ambitious. Not impossible, but you need, what, probably 3 Rams to feel really good about a push here. And you're running out of time. B is about to hit close to 15 farms. So this needs to be fast. I think the only thing missing for B is the Lords. He needs more Lords. Because the Lords are the thing that can stand there and beat down the Rams when the Spearmen can't. Because Lords are really tanky, so archers kind of struggle to kill them. Does see the Rams coming. Yeoman going to step up for a little bit of poke. Movement speed definitely valuable here. Villagers, torches out. Yo's just body blocking them from reaching the outposts. Few villagers. Oh my god, how did they slip out of that? Just like they've been slathered in butter. They just slipped through. Rams now wasting time on the housing. I mean, good idea on the pop block, but B has surplus. So it's not going to block him at all. Yeoman trading out against the archers. Spearline is beginning to thin, though. Needs to get rid of more of these archers. The damage buff from the Khan has kicked in, but the archer count is gone. Yeoman are now frontlining. He needs more outpost defenses here. There are no more archers, so he can just reproduce into Spearman now to try and hold. And the torches goes for the ram kills. Gets the one. Probably going to get the second, actually. That Lord getting it low. Needs to go for a quick burn and then repair. Just enough damage. He gets the garrison. Able to repair. It's a full Hodor and a shutout in 4. Nah, dude, what have you got left? Slim pickings, my friend. B holds on. He took a lot of worker losses, but now he has farms. And now he has breathing room. And now he has substantially better food income. This is cruise mode. Question now is, does he go for a divide push or does he go for castle? People who are sick of all-in aggressive play winning, this is your game. This is what... Lancaster was your savior all along. You hated them, but they delivered you defensive win. 2TC defensive win. This might be the most toxic but effective way to play Lancaster. And that's saying a lot, considering we had the Lords of Lancaster spam, where they would just zerg you with cheap ponies and spears. But the ponies got nerfed on their cost, remember. They're not as good for that anymore. The forward infrastructure now. Wham, I respect that he's not just falling back for a tech play. I think you try to castle here, you just get rushed. Because with B's economy, he'll be faster. and then you'll just be dead. It's like he's going to just address the concerning situation with more aggression. And in fairness to him, though, as the game drags further out, B's static defense strat should be weaker by the logic that his army will be more presently required to defend than his defenses, his outposts, and his TCs, because the resources spread wider. Looks like white tower drop coming in to secure the gold. Also gives them the stone. And also, it's on the other side of the base. You're never going to catch this in time from Wham's position. He'll know what's going on, like, or at least be suspicious, like, where is the defense? There's only one reason your opponent gives over the double outpost, right? He's going to start diving in. Yeoman's starting to show up. 5 seconds away. The Lords also get auto-buffed here. And yeah, New Age begins. Wham needs kills. Villagers with the short bows will give him a few. That means the Archer backline is just dead. And the Spears, he gets the perfect split. Divides the army in two. Loses, what, 3-4 workers there? Still has the eco lead. Wham now has to age up from behind. I mean, economically, he's ahead, right? Like, on raw income, but that's the idle time you have to remember. And the concern I always have about Golden Horn in this position, it takes them 2 freaking minutes to get there. That's great when you're aggressively inclined, when you're favored there. Not so great when you're behind. Or even when you're drawn. So B now going for mass Earlsguard. Interesting choice here, but he's adding in the crossbows too. He's also looking towards the monasteries. I think Wham gets the age up without being dove because it's like a slow comp. The question mark is, will he have enough to defend against, 15 Earlsguard? Which is where we're kind of heading. That's a good start. Tries to raid towards the farms. Earlsguard just kind of wasting his time. We'll be able to get the snipes all the same. Yeah, kind of outnumbered. The Spear's out of position. And not many of them, actually. Like, the weird part is that B didn't even bother to upgrade his Spearmen. No. Yeomen are gigged up, though. But it feels like the goal here is just to transition full Earlsguard crossbows and take it from there. Yo's not gonna... Was that a worker? That might have been. Gonna wait for the UI to update. I think that you don't really want to lean into Yeoman. Like, B's correct in that. Because in this matchup, about 95% of games in pro play are Muscovy Yasak. Might even be higher at this stage. So the problem with going Yeoman is +2 armor on heavy cav and men at arms, you just lose. Crossbows is fine because the units that are going to get +2 armor are going to take, almost 10 extra damage from you, from your bonus damage anyway. Hello. Found a few workers here. Burn coming through, going to force a reaction. Yeoman parking. Upgrade complete. So Torgud auto-upgraded now. The Yeoman do no damage against them. He's spawning Keshiks. Okay. What wins here? Keshik, Torgud, Archer, or Crossbow, Earlsguard? I think the Earlsguard are very impressive because of the health. The Lords of Lancaster health buff may be the difference maker in that clash. Food income is also still really concerning me. It's a double up in favor of B. And the eco lead, like before, Wham done a good job of always keeping the town center situation in check. That's stopped happening now. The moment he chose to tech, look at what's happened. It's a 14 worker lead now for B. The one risk is that he runs out of things to do with all those workers and has to come out too soon. But he's got the gold in the corner. He's got that reserve tree line, even the straggler trees and the stealth forest. Like, he has enough wiggle room here to set up a good, extra 10, 15 farms, which will give him the food to push. Gold-wise, he is building crossbow Earlsguard, which is a bit pricey. But he is sneaking back a few relics now. First one's on the way home. Ranged armor 2 also, just to counter out the mass archers. Horseman switch from Wham. Makes sense against the crossbows. Bit tricky and tough against Earlsguard, though. The weird part to me is the UI bugged, or did Wham research Keshik veterancy and then build only one and lose it? Because I saw that queued up, right? You guys saw that too. Those are all Tortugud. So I hope he cancelled Veterancy on Keshik, because it's not the most expensive thing, but it's still wasted resources if you have no intent. And every little counts here because you are now, without a doubt, economically behind. Okay, I guess a bit closer than you expect. That's courtesy of the Stockyard Burst, right? Actually, no, that's just Deer. He's rushed out into Deer and Boar. The crazy thing is that Wham has rushed out to limited resources, and even with the powerful gathering rates of those things like Deer and Boar, he's still behind on food. And he has got almost an extra 10 workers on food. That's nuts. And this is all off the back of 2 manas, remember. So it's not just mana OP. Good dive in, find some workers. Need to make a move soon, so well played. No, those are Keshiks. The UI is bugged. Those are Keshiks, guys. The silver ones are Keshiks, the brown ones are Tortugud. So he has been building Keshiks, but for some reason the UI isn't tracking them. It also makes sense. If you look at the count, it's got 29, 2, 4, so he's got, what, 36? So he's got about 16 Keshiks. That's freaking hefty. I don't know, man. This UI being missing Keshiks is a big problem. That's like a critical detail. On flank raid, he finds him again. Hold on. Counter raid opportunity. Trying to shut down the cavalry. We'll pin a few. Yeah, but B isn't really defending much. He's kind of just held his hands up and said, villagers, sort yourself. Reinforcements starting to come out now, but the raid's definitely getting a bit of trickle damage done. I think that's like an extra 4 or 5 kills. Denial on the board, Deer south side now. And he will retreat back after that. Long way to go. I thought he might just keep pushing. Wham is trying to cut him off. There's a movement towards the 8k now. Full army's showing up. I don't know if Wham's expecting B's second wave here. He has to be. UI kind of broken past update. Remember Guildhall resource gone missing? Dude, it's all scuffed. Do Keshiks show in-game, though? Is this like the UI we're using, or is it in-game as well? My apologies if it's in-game as well, but I'm not sure, because we keep pivoting between this UI and the other one. We'll burn the farms. Idle definitely worth achieving here. Problem is you can't really punish these guys on a retreat. You got Archer Crossbow versus Crossbow Ulsgaard. Even some Yos in there. I wonder actually if there's a world in which B goes back towards Yeoman now that he's seeing Crossbowman. Because Yeoman can then just play towards the money shot. Right? Arrow rain's pretty powerful. Like obviously that comes much later in the game, but it's a scale point to aim for. Especially when you consider we're about to crack 200 pop, which puts Imperial on the table. Wham's at least competitive on population as well. Really important. Golden Horde don't thrive from behind. Kind of in the name, you're a horde, right? Yeoman? Wait. Where are the Ulsgaard? Wait, where are the Ulsgaard? There's only a few in there. That's mostly range. Oh my god. He cuts him off. And that's a huge chunk down the drain. That's like, what, minus 15, maybe 20? Now the melee arrives way too late. Questionable order of things there. He's got 37 Ulsgaard, but I don't know where the hell they are. On a coffee break, it seems. Okay, there you go. Second wave's now coming. You have to question, would it just be worth walling at this stage for B? Because Ulsgaard aren't fast, so reacting on the flanks is the problem here. Really well played by Wham to force that. I wonder, are we seeing batch production now? I don't think so. I didn't see anything pop up recently. He hasn't been building Tortugud, right? I'm just watching the crossbow count to see if it happens. You'll know if it goes up in 3s instead of 2s. Oh yeah, he has batch production. I think I just saw Horseman go up by 3. Okay. So that's how Wham's going to keep competing. Really important detail there. He's getting 50% extra for free. I think it's only cavalry batch production, though. That's huge for Keshiks. Now Flash coming in. This is going to be a push forward a little bit B, but Sniper's there. Crossbow's getting rid of the Lord straight away. Great beginning of the fight for Wham. B needs to get more Olsgaard in faster. He spreads out those lines. It's a lot of horsemen. Horsemen that should not really hold on against Olsgaard. Crossbow count is similar on both sides. More lords are being spawned out to give that extra health. But the damage buff, the longer this fight goes on, the worse it gets for B. He needs to try and remove the Khan. Gets the snipe. So that's damage buff gone. That's huge. But it lasted so long. Now it's just range on range. He's got more lords coming through. Olsgaard sustained 2.1 food income on both sides here. I tell you what, it's impressive economy out of Wham to be competing up against Lancaster with this type of eco lead. That's crazy. And that's with like, what, 1 tier of pasture? I'm telling you guys, these stockyards are no joke. They're so damn efficient because you don't have to move to drop off. In the aftermath, who's favored here? Because the thing that's been working well for Wham is he has just so much breadth on the map, right? And most of his food is infinite now because he's got 10 stockyards, so he's got 40 villagers gathering. There's only 4 that are gathering a limited resource, so he's not going to run out of food at all. This one's going deep. Hobbler switch up now. A bit ambitious up against Horseman. I thought maybe he'd go Spears here. He has got them coming in as well, actually. So Spear Hobbler switch. Cheap, fast to produce, ramps up fast. Nice denial. That's really important. I think Wham was using the health. So he's getting plus 10%, which is kind of bouncing out against the guards and the King's health. It's really good to kind of bounce that out. Now Lords are an advantage again. 8k denial. He's realizing that B, with crossbows, you know, even a Hobbler, the Olsgaard, like all these things are gold heavy. And villagers, they're going to go back to work now. Oh, castle drop. B can afford a few worker losses. This is smart. This also buffs up Olsgaard play, which he's still doing. Remember, every castle you drop as Lancaster gives +1 damage to Olsgaard. And Wham is too late. He can't get there in time. Sacred Site timer is still ticking, but this is a staging point for B to try and break towards it. He's going to just keep retreating. Castle's now online. Goes in for the clash. That lumber camp is kind of griefing a little bit. He will be able to break past it. And Hobbler now leading the charge. They have extra ranged armor. Pretty effective diving into crossbows. Good read as well. Wham does keep producing Karash, so he's got the extra health via the extra armor. This boy was hungry. Yo, someone get him a double stack order. You know, don't skimp on the fries. Jeesh. It's like 40 gold workers. So that unlocks the door to any unit type he wants. Harassment on the north side is a bit annoying, but the good news, he just locked in an 8k, so you don't care about losing the 4k up there. Hobbler against normal horsemen kind of ugly, but spears will be able to scare him away. I believe we've got the minus armor on the spearman as well. I'd be shocked if we didn't at this stage. Awesome. Bloody nuisance. Splits his formation weirdly. Crossbows get exposed to horsemen. And the Olsgaard have to deal with crossbows. That's not great. He's got one lord coming out. Champion of the entire army. Full He-Man moment. I don't know if Wham can hold on to this now. He's spamming horsemen just to try and sustain, right? No, I think he's probably okay, because the problem for B is what is he really producing? Hobbler. Great to get rid of that back line, but sucky in the horseman trade. Hobbler spearman, however. Like, the thing you have to remember is if you look at population, that's the key difference here. Is that B, the reason we're not seeing more army queued up is he just doesn't have the wiggle room right now. Spread of lines. Oh, it's going to be a surround. Pushes him back. That's backline exposed as well. Against Spear Hobbler, he has at least got some archers in there, but this is primarily crossbows, which is also slowing down the retreat. B gets breakpoint. He's cracked it. Sacred Site timer now paused. It will not be the win condition. And B, with this type of breakthrough, huge problem now for Wham. He's got great food income, but his priority has been batch production on horsemen. Horsemen have now been ultimately counted. They no longer deliver you a victory. And now B is able to A-click his way to glory. Finds the workers out on the flanks. He's death pushing down the center. He's flank raiding north side with a small skirmish force as well. Sacred Site was temporarily resumed, but that should get decapped momentarily. I think B may be a bit distracted right now. But Wham is in freefall. And B is here to stay, ladies and gentlemen. That's looking like a double 3-1 performance in groups already for him. Yeah, I don't know how Wham gets production up quick enough. Also, this is the nightmare fuel. He was holding on because he had 4 production. Now that the enemy army is in his base, it takes him as long to get there to fight as it does B's reinforcements. That's tragic. And that is GG. House of L's with the House of W. That opening 2TC play may be one of the most toxic ways to play Lancaster, and that's saying a lot considering we just came out of a Lord's meta. Let me know what you guys think. I imagine there's a bunch of 2TC boomers that are very happy with what they just learned.